Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Anna, and on this channel we go over spirituality, self-development, pretty much all things esoteric. So if that is your cup of tea, you came to the right place. I am super excited for today's video. As you can tell from the title, I will be showing you a plan on how you can manifest the life of your dreams in 2024. Let's jump right into it. First, you must let go of what no longer serves you so you can make room for this new life of yours. I want you to begin with decluttering your home, getting rid of anything you no longer use, such as household items, decor, clothes, maybe something sitting in a junk drawer. I recommend being as sustainable as possible. If whatever you're getting rid of still works or is still wearable, I recommend donating it, maybe gifting it, or maybe even selling it. Another thing I want you to declutter is your photo gallery, maybe a photo album you actually have physically, and posts that you have posted on like social media. Are there any photos of you and an ex, or maybe a post or a picture with a friend that you're no longer friends with? If so, it's time to delete it because that person no longer serves you. And that's like holding on to a memory of them and holding on to that energy that no longer serves you. So delete it. You also want to let go of any negative people in your life. You want to surround yourself with positive people who uplift you and who have the same mindset as you. Now, whoever you surround yourself the most will impact your life because eventually their energy will affect your energy and their beliefs will start affecting yours because it's going into your subconscious mind. This is why it's important to consider who you're surrounding your energy with. Now, if you believe that there are no positive people in your life that uplift you and have the same mindset as you, you might just have to let go of those negative people in order to attract those people into your life. This is why the art of letting go of what no longer serves you is so beautiful. Because once you let go of those things, you start to attract what does serve you. Another thing I would like to go over that I feel not enough people talk about is clearing out your following list on social media and only follow people you truly love or who inspire you and impact your life in a positive way. Doing this can help you scroll less on social media because you're not following as many people, and with you spending less time on your phone, you can spend more time taking action towards your dream life. Also, with following people you get inspired by and who motivate you, when you scroll through your social media, you're more likely to get motivated and get that thrive of energy and inspiration to start taking those actions. And if you're not already, I highly recommend following people and pages that inspire you to be a better you. And if social media is something you want to do, I recommend following niches that you want to create content on so you can be inspired from their content. Lastly, when it comes to letting go, you want to let go of any limiting beliefs you may have when it comes to your manifestations. For example, do you believe you don't truly deserve these manifestations? Do you believe that these things are hard to come by? If so, ask yourself why you feel this way, and then rewrite a new positive belief surrounding it and why you should believe that positive belief. This is going to help to rewire your subconscious mind. For example, you might think something is hard to come by because you didn't have a lot of it growing up, such as money. I'll use this as an example because I feel like a lot of people struggle with this as a limiting belief. Now, you can rewrite the belief that it is hard to come by saying, I believe that money can come easy to me because there is an infinite amount of wealth on this universe, so I can easily attract it into my life. Try to uncover any limiting beliefs you may have and rewrite new positive beliefs. On to the next step. Now that you have created room for your dream life, you want to get clear on what your dream life looks like. What do you wish to accomplish? What do you wish to attract and manifest into your life? Now, when it comes to this part, it's important to manifest what your heart wants, not what your ego wants. Because if you're manifesting from your ego, you're going to see a resistance because that isn't really what you want. So try to focus deeply in your hearts and your soul on what you actually want to manifest. Example of this was before I wanted to manifest Cartier just because somebody else manifested it. And I didn't even know about them before they mentioned this. Like, I'm not someone who really cares about the high-end things, but I just wanted to do it because they did it. And there was resistance there. Was I close? Yes. I manifested some David Yurman as a gift. And there was resistance into this not being Cartier because I truly didn't want it or care about it. Would it be nice? Yes. Do I care to have it? No. Now, something I want you to understand is that there are infinite amounts of parallel realities, one of which your dream life already exists. It just takes tuning in to the frequency of that reality in order to become and be in that reality. In order to do this, we want to get clear on what actions the version of ourselves that is already living our dream life is taking, and we want to incorporate those things into our life. I wrote down some things you might want to consider. I'm gonna reference that so I don't leave anything out so we can get as clear as possible. Some things to consider are what foods do they eat, remembering that health is wealth. So are they eating healthy and how are they staying active? Are they doing yoga and or going to the gym? Maybe they have a home gym. Also, what does their morning and night routines look like? These routines are important because it can affect our day. Some other things to consider are what actions they take for their work life and how do they carry and present themselves to the world. The next step is taking action. Simply just start incorporating these actions into your current life. It may benefit some of you if you write down what you and your current life look like versus you and your dream life look like. This is going to help you get a clearer picture and see where change is needed. Now, ask yourself, what does the version of yourself living your dream life prioritize? Write those priorities down and start prioritizing them. When you have a clear picture on this, you're more likely to prioritize these things. So I recommend writing that list and looking at it every day as a reminder. The next step is raising your vibration. The reason why you want to be at a high vibrational state is because when you're at that high vibrational state, you then become more magnetic, allowing you to attract your manifestations much more easier. Also, it's going to be much harder for any negative people to bring you down. Now, there are many ways to raise your vibration, and in this video, I will share with you 6 of my favorite ways to do so. The first way is through meditation. I personally meditate first thing in the morning and right before I go to bed for 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how I'm feeling. However, if you're new to meditation, it's perfectly okay to start off small. That's actually what I recommend. I would recommend maybe 5 to 10 minutes a day whenever you can. Some ways meditation has impacted my life personally is it helped me remain in the present moment. It has also helped with giving me a peace of mind and allowing me to become more patient, which are all high vibrational traits to have. The second way is dancing and or singing like nobody is watching. This is going to help you to get into the state of flow and just invite more joy into your life. I love doing this at least once a day. This is like one of my most favorite things to do. Number 3 is staying away from processed food as much as you can. Am I saying to never eat processed food again? No, not everyone has that willpower. I don't have that willpower. But cutting back is going to make a big difference. And replacing those things with fruits, veggies, and whole foods. This is going to allow you to feel better energetically and less sluggish, giving you the energy that you need to take action towards your dream life. Health is a wealth. What you put into your body is going to reflect outwards. So you want to make sure you're eating high vibrational foods. The fourth way you can raise your vibration is by connecting with and appreciating nature. Some ways you can do this is by going on walks, going on hikes, spending time in the park, and appreciating the beauty around you. Some other ways I like connecting with nature is sun gazing. I also like to step my feet barefoot in the grass. This is a practice that allows you to become more grounded. Another thing I love doing, which I don't really hear anyone talk about, is picking up a litter whenever you see it. Because if you take care of Mother Earth, she's going to return the favor and take care of you. The fifth way is cleansing and protecting your energy. One of the many ways you can cleanse your energy is when you take a shower, you can imagine that the water is washing away any negative energy you may have picked up on. And if you're taking a bath, you can imagine that the water is soaking up any negative energy you may have picked up on. There's also many ways you can protect your energy. One of my favorite ways is to imagine that there is this golden light surrounding me and my auric field, acting as a bubble and a force that other people cannot get through. I like to do this as often as I can, especially when I'm feeling unsafe for whatever reason, or especially whenever I'm surrounded by people I do not know. And sometimes I like to go to the extra step to imagine that there is an actual armor shield surrounding that golden lights as a extra layer of protection. Now, it's important to understand that our minds are very powerful, and whatever we believe to be true will be true. So if we believe that golden light that we're envisioning is going to protect us, then it will. The sixth way is to express gratitude every single day whenever you can. Being grateful for the things that you already have. Also, remembering to be grateful for whatever planet Earth has to offer, such as the trees, the sun, the grass, because without those things, we wouldn't be able to survive. I feel like some people might refer to being grateful for trees as the small things, but those are really the big things, because without it, we wouldn't be living right now. Now, those are just some of the few ways I like to raise my vibration. If you'd like to learn more ways, let me know in the comments below so I can make that for you. I also already have a video out on 5 ways to raise your vibration. So if you're interested, I recommend checking that out. And now we are finally ready to get into the manifestation techniques. In this video, I will be discussing 3 techniques, and if you are truly ready to start living your dream life, I recommend doing all 3. For this part, I really do not want to leave anything out, so I will be just reading from my notes. The first way is going to be with a vision board. Before you start this technique, I want you to do something that brings you joy and happiness. Anything that's going to make you more upbeat will assist in attracting your manifestations. This is going to allow you to manifest at a positive state and allow this technique to be more fun and exciting for you. This is also going to allow this to be more powerful. If in the past you tried making a vision board and it just didn't work for you, I still encourage you to watch this part of the video, because I once had the same problem and I no longer do. If you're unfamiliar with this technique, a vision board is creating a collage of photos of things you wish to attract in your life. You can make a physical one by printing out photos or getting pictures from magazines and attaching them to a post board. Or you can make a virtual one on your phone using a collage app. Or some people use Pinterest. I don't really know how to use Pinterest, so I wouldn't know how to go about that. But if you love Pinterest, that's something to consider. I recommend trying to find photos that make it seem like you actually took them if possible. You can even go as far as editing photos. So something I did before was I took a screenshot of my bank account balance and I then scribbled out my original balance and replaced it with the balance I desired. With this technique, for this next step, I want you to follow your intuition. When it comes to it being all done and complete, you're either going to want to have it somewhere where you can see it every day, or you're going to want to tuck it away and forget about it a little bit as a letting go practice. Remember, everyone is different. Now, if you truly believe that looking at this vision board is going to motivate you more and more, you want to keep it where you can see it. So if you made a physical board, I recommend putting it somewhere you can see it first thing in the morning. And if you made a virtual one, consider saving it as your screensaver. However, when it comes to this, try not to be hyper focused on this. You kind of just want to like glance at it so it just like enters your subconscious mind. Now, if you think looking at this every day is just going to remind you you don't yet have these things in your life, I want you to hide it somewhere you can't see it. Maybe hide it somewhere you can't see it at all, or maybe have it where you can like kind of see it, or it's like peeking through. For example, I personally have mine poking out. If you can see that little gold, that little gold right there is my vision board. Now, I know it's there, however, I can't actually see what's on it. Ever since I did that, I've noticed a change. I noticed these things are starting to come to me versus when I had it up on my wall looking at it every day. While that will work for some, like I said earlier, everyone is different, so follow your intuition. If you choose to put it somewhere you can't see it at all, I recommend putting it under your bed, because I feel like this is gonna be like sleeping with your manifestations. I don't know. It makes sense in my head. And if you made a virtual one and you want to do it where you can't really see it, I recommend saving it to a separate private album. Now, with hiding it, I recommend still looking at it whenever you feel called to do so. This could be maybe every 3 months, maybe you want to look at it every month. Do whatever you feel called to do. Also, maybe you want to hang it up for a little while for the first couple months of the year, and then maybe you want to hide it and then check up on it. Do whatever feels good to you. On to the next manifestation tool, we are going to go over scripting. Now, if you don't already have a special notebook and a pen or pencil you use specifically for manifesting, I want you to get one strictly for this technique. This is going to help this practice be more intentional. With intention, things become more powerful. I recommend going the extra step to enchant these items. Now, you can do this by cleansing the items with either incense or Palo Santo. I personally like using dragon's blood because it is known to amplify the energy of things, making them more powerful. Now, as I cleanse the items, I will come up with a chant. Something I wrote down as an example is, I command everything that is written in this notebook and written with this pen to become true. These 2 items are magic. May you make my wishes come true. Noted be, so it is done. You can even go the extra step into charging these items with a crystal grid around it. I don't personally do that, but this idea came up in my head. So if you like being extra intentional, it is something you can do. Now, the way I personally like scripting is I like pretending like I'm my future self writing in her diary. So I will script as if I'm living as my future self. talking about all the manifestations that came true and talking about how I manifested my dream life, how I'm living my dream life, and doing so with so much gratitude. Some important notes is I like to add the smallest details I can to add more realness to it. And as I write, I feel the emotions as if it did really happen, as if I'm actually my future self writing in her diary, feeling that deeply. Now, when it comes to manifestation, I feel like the number one thing is having the emotion, because when you feel the emotion, you are gonna vibrate at the frequency of already having it, therefore attracting it into your life. Now, if you're feeling lost when it comes to this part, I am going to read to you one of the scripts I recently made. Now, another thing when it comes to scripting, I like to kind of switch it up between if I repeatedly write the same thing. So for example, sometimes I'll just copy and paste what I already wrote. Other times I feel the need to like write something different, as if I'm writing a different day of my future self's life. I hope that made sense. So without further ado, here is one of my recent scripts I wrote. I woke up today instantly feeling a boost of serotonin. As I rise, I think about all that I've accomplished in just 5 months. To get to where I am today, it's truly fascinating how powerful manifesting is. Truly believing in yourself and putting in the work is all it took. Words cannot express how grateful I am to be living the life I am now. For one, thanks to be a successful entrepreneur. I now live in Arizona. I love it here so much, and I drive a Tesla like a bestie in the Tezzy. I'm the bestie in the Tezzy. I added that, because I'm adding emotion, okay? I love my life so much. I love my life so much, and I'm so grateful for every single one of my supporters. Whether they're watching and interacting with the content I post on my socials and YouTube, or purchasing readings with me, or purchasing my Reiki charged jewelry and paintings, or to those who book Reiki healing sessions with me. I am also deeply grateful for the brands that chose to work with me. All thanks to these amazing, beautiful people, I am now living the life of my dreams, and boy, does it feel good. Thank you, universe. Continuing on, you want to script every day until you feel like you've repeated it enough times for it to deeply go into your subconscious mind. I will say I recommend doing it for a minimum of 5 days, because 5 represents change in numerology. So if you want to incorporate numerology with this, that kind of fits the vibe. Personally, I'm going to aim to do this for 21 days because it takes 21 days to form a habit. And I feel like if I form a habit out of this, it'll become more powerful. However, don't feel obligated to do that. You want to do this until it no longer feels good to you. So for example, let's say you do it for the 5 days, and on the 6th day, you go to do it and you're like, I don't want to do this, but I have to. Don't do it if you start feeling that way. Because if you do it when you start to feel that way, you're not going to have positive emotions attached to this practice. Now, I've used this technique before and things did come true. The last time I consistently did this and I manifested things out of this, I was doing this twice a day, around the time I woke up and a bit before bedtime. Now, don't feel obligated to do this twice a day. There were some days where I just did it once a day, but I would aim to do it twice a day. Like earlier, do whatever feels good to you, okay? So if it feels good to you to do it in the middle of the day once a day, do that. Now we're moving on to our third manifestation techniques, which is a visualization. If you haven't learned about visualization in this practice, you simply just imagine what it is you're trying to manifest as if it already happened. Kind of similar to like the act of daydreaming. Now, I like to get really deep into this and kind of visualize this thing happening as if it were a movie and adding as many small details I can. And again, feeling the emotion as if it's really happening. Now, with this practice, you can make it more powerful by doing a short meditation beforehand and keeping in mind the time you do this. It is very powerful to do this when you first wake up and right before you're gonna go to sleep. Now, what's so important about these times? At these times, our brains are at a very special brainwave. This is a very interesting concept to me. So if you haven't heard about it, you should like stay and listen. Now, there are 5 brainwaves. However, I'm just going to be discussing 3 for the sake of this video. Now, I don't want to mess anything up or say something wrong when it comes to this part, so I will be reading off of my notes. Okay, so your brain is at theta when you first wake up and alpha when we are just about to go to sleep, feeling sleepy. I'm going to simplify this so this video isn't too long. I have a feeling like it's pretty long already. So theta is connected to your subconscious mind, which is where memories are stored. So if you are visualizing, first thing when you wake up, you trick your mind into thinking what you are visualizing is a memory. You will then attract it into your life so it actually becomes a memory. Now, very important, do not look at your phone before you do this. If you have to turn off your alarm, that is the only thing you're allowed to do. I say this because if you start scrolling even just for a minute, your brainwave will then switch to beta, which is where your brainwave is at most of the time when you're awake and alert. And if you make that switch, you won't benefit from the theta brainwave. On to alpha. At this stage, you can better focus on a visualization without getting distracted. It can also assist with thinking more creatively, which can be beneficial when it comes to visualizing. With that, you'll be able to visualize more vividly, making it feel so real that your subconscious will find a way to make it real. You can also absorb new information more easily at alpha. Therefore, you can better absorb your manifestation. Now, this is something I highly recommend doing twice a day just so you can benefit from both theta and alpha. Now, if that's too much for you, that's okay. Pick one, maybe interchange the two. So maybe one day you do morning and then the next day you do nights and have it be a pattern. Also, consider waking up a little bit more early or going to bed a little bit more early so you actually have time for this practice. Also, as I said with the previous practice, do this until it no longer feels good to you. And trust that once you stop, that manifestation is on its way to you. This is a foolproof plan for manifesting. This is something I use to manifest other things. And I am now gonna use it to manifest my dream life because I'm ready to live my dream life. And if you are too, in conjunction with everything that I mentioned in this video, if you incorporate all of this, I 100% truly believe that you can manifest the life of your dreams. Remember to always believe and trust in yourself that you can succeed, and believe and trust that the universe will deliver. Last thing I have to mention is to start as soon as possible, because if you tell yourself, oh, I'll do it next week, oh, I'll do it then, that starts to turn into a endless cycle and chances are you never start. And why not just ask yourself, why not today? I'm ready to start living the life of my dreams. I'm ready for my manifestations. Why not today? If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave me a like. And if you're not already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you can get notified when I make videos just like this one. Also, if you have any questions regarding anything I went over, do not hesitate to ask me in the comments below. Till next time, I will see you in my next video.